we're going to get back into it and ask GC who his top 5 D tackles right now in the game.
Oh,
he doesn't
man.
need to go 1 through 5. I just need to know your top 5 right now.
Okay, my top 5. So when I do rankings, I do body of work.
Okay.
That's not recency bias because some people might have had a great year last year and people immediately jumped them over other people who had really good years. And then prior to they had great years, but collectively over the last 5, they've been consistent. Okay. So
what about like an injury too? Does
injuries, that goes into it. Just because you got injured, that don't take you out of the top 5. Okay.
All right.
You have to play bad for me to kick you out of the top 5. All right. So
I like
this is going to upset some people. It is. I don't care because this is my top 5. All right. Here's my honorable mention though. So I have an honorable mention. My honorable mention top 5. Justin Matabuke. Dominant defensive tackle from last year. I got to see it more than once. I got to see it.
And I hate doing this. I hate being this person. It's Matabike.
Matabike. You're right. Matabike. Yep. No, I'm glad that you're that person because we want to be.
I don't want him to beat me up when he sees me at work.
We want to be correct on this show. But I love what he did last year. Had a Aaron Donald-like season. He said Aaron Donald's one of his favorite players, and he tries to model his game after him, kind of similar size. He's very explosive, great against the run, can rush the passer. I would love for him to be one of the next ones, but I got to see it more than once before I just throw him in the top 5. Is he in the top 10?
I respect that.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see what he can do. That defense is going to be incredible because of you, of course, and then him being in the middle. But also, Bucks, don't kill me. Do not kill me. My honorable mention is Vita Vea. I do not have him in my top 5, but he is in my top 10, my honorable mention. But Vita, dominant in the middle, pushes the pocket well. Just got to see a little bit more consistency from my guy before I put him in the top 5. Kenny Clark, been really good for that Packers team. In the middle, Pro Bowler, All-Pro. One of the big reasons why that defense is so good. Grady
just
Jarrett.
Got paid again.
Yes, Grady Jarrett in Atlanta. Always been a big fan of his. Was in the same division. Got to watch him up close. Grady Jarrett popped on the scene versus the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. Had 3 sacks in the Super Bowl. And I believe had Atlanta pulled that out, he might have been the MVP because those 2 sacks were very timely at the end of the game. So Grady Jarrett, honorable mention. And last, honorable mention, Christian Wilkins. Was in Miami. Now he's with the Raiders. I believe he's going to give offenses a lot more problems to have to worry about than just Max Crosby. That tandem, I believe, is going to be really good this season. But Gerald's top 5 defensive tackles playing the game right now in no order, but the unquestioned number 1 to me is Chris Jones. Obviously, I honestly started to do a different 5 and leave him out because we all know who Chris Jones is. It's like you name top 5 D tackles when Aaron Donald was playing, and it's like, we got Aaron Donald 1, and then we got, clearly he's 1. So, but I left him in there. Another guy, about to see an interview from him, Quinnen Williams. I've been screaming this guy's name since he got drafted of how dominant he is and that the sky's the limit for him. Big body, long arms, plays with effort, can do everything on the field. Big fan of Quinnen Williams. You talked about injuries and why it doesn't take you out of the top 5. Jeffrey Simmons in Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
He can do it all.
He's a dog.
He is a dog. Jeffrey Simmons. I mentioned him on NFL Network of why we don't talk about Jeffrey Simmons. Good against the run, pushes the pocket, can beat you outside, beat you inside. Jeffrey Simmons can do it all. Excited to see what he can do moving forward. One of the vets in the league, DeForest Buckner. DeForest Buckner, dominant defensive tackle. He's actually a cheat code.
Yeah.
He's 7 feet tall. You know, like he's
still can't believe the Niners gave him away.
That's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous that they gave him away. But hey, it is what it is. DeForest Buckner gonna be a big part of why that team turns the corner. But that D-line, they gonna be dangerous. And lastly, my boy asked me to call him this, but I'm not gonna do it. But I guess I have to. What do they call him in New York? Sexy Dexy? Dexter Lawrence? Hey, listen, everybody else I named are 3 techniques. Most of them are 3 techniques. He's the only guy I got on my top 5 that is a nose guard. To do what he's able to do at the nose guard position, if you don't know football, you just know, oh, Dexter Lawrence is really good. No, Dexter Lawrence is dominant because he's doing it from the nose guard position. I remember Snacks Harrison, when he was there, he was a first team All-Pro because he had 100 tackles as a nose guard. When you can dominate at the nose guard position, it makes your defense go to the next level. So Dexter Lawrence, DeForest Buckner, Jeffrey Simmons, Quinnen Williams, Chris Jones, Gerald McCoy's top 5 defensive tackles playing the game right now. And then my honorable mentions, you guys. Y'all right on the cusp of being in my top 5. But if you notice, I listed 10 names. Those are my top 10 defensive tackles in the league right now.
That's a good list. I like that list. It's hard to like say this one's here, this one's there. You did a really good job. You must have played D tackle yourself
a little bit. I played D tackle, and the only reason I didn't list Cam Hayward is because Cam is a Hall of Famer in my book. I don't have to list him as a top 10. Cam's going to the Hall. Cam know I love him, so Cam ain't gonna take this personal. But Cam know he's the guy. He's like in that. When I almost didn't list Chris Jones, that's why I didn't list Cam Hayward. So all you Pittsburgh fans, of course Cam Hayward's in there, but I put him in a different realm. He's a Hall of Famer. These are guys that's, So here we go.
Yeah, I like that. I'll do like a quick 5-ish. I got for me, Chris Jones 1, and then I'm really high on Jeffrey Simmons.
Yes.
I know he was injured last year, but his game wrecking game wrecking.
Yes.
And that's how I view somebody is I want to see when I turn on the film, I want to see game wrecking. And you don't even have to make the play.
Yes.
I just need you to
game
blow-ish up. I need you to
just destroy stuff.
Destroy stuff.
That's what he does.
Exactly. Perfect. And he does that, not only in the run game, but the pass game. So I'm very high on Jeff Simmons. And then I'm going to, there's so many. Q's up there.
Yeah.
I know he doesn't have the sack numbers, but his game wrecking ability is up there with the best of them. Then got to go Sexy Dexy, Dexter Lawrence, or Dex Sexy. I don't know however he says it, but I do like his dancing moves after.
Yeah.
I think those are fun, and I appreciate that because I'm more of like a serious player, but I like when teammates or other players, celebrate, and I feel like he does a very, very good job. I've always admired that. And then last, I'm just gonna throw a couple in that last spot. I got Justin in there, especially after what I've watched. Just in the pass rush, he is game wrecker.
Yeah.
I got Christian Wilkins in there.
Yep.
I played with him as well. Game wrecker, and has gotten better every year.
Absolutely.
And I think that hasn't been talked about enough, is that how he's gotten better. He's always been a very high energy in the run game, but now it's turned over to the pass, and I really appreciate him and his work ethic. And then you got to go Vita Vea in there.
Yeah.
I think Vita's
for sure in there. Yeah.
Wrecking this stuff as well on pass and rush, and I think that's kind of my top right now.
Yeah.
And DeForest Buckner.
Yeah.
Guy can't leave him without. I mean, Buddy's he's a man-child out there. He literally he be throwing people out of the way to the quarterback.
And how I did my list is, like I said, it's consistency. These are guys that have either been first team or second team All-Pro more than once over the last 5 years, Pro Bowl more than once over the last 5 years. These are all collectively how I've seen these guys and how they perform. But that's why I did the honorable mention, because when I do the honorable mention, you could take one of my guys out and put one of those guys in, and the list don't change.
For sure.
If we're listing 5, who cares? If you're top 10 at your position, you're a guy. So
you know what's awesome too is I love players and former players that do these because they never can do 5.
No, it's hard to just do 5 right there.
Yeah, because there's so many good players in the NFL. It's awesome. Yeah, I love that.
It's incredible. And speaking of really good players, I had a chance to sit down with a great one. And I don't believe that Quinnen Williams is one of the best D tackles, one of the best D linemen. I believe he's one of the best players in all of the NFL. As we've seen, he was voted in the top 100. He's an All-Pro. He's been a first-team All-Pro. That means you are two of the
One or
best
two
at your position across the entire NFL. That is extremely hard to do, but this guy has done it, and he's a big part of why this Jets defense has been so dominant.